The fourth video for this chapter is the thoracic cage and the pectoral girdle. The thoracic cage, now this encases your heart and your lungs and other organs. It's protective. Some people call it the rib cage, and it has the 12 thoracic vertebrae, the 12 pairs of ribs that are joined to the sternum or the breastbone. Sorry. Okay, now if you look at it, you can see the sternum here in the front, and then the blue, that's some cartilage, and then you see the ribs that wrap around the back and articulate with the vertebra. The rib, it articulates here with the sternum or with the cartilage that attaches to the sternum, and then it curves around, if I can move the thing, the shaft, and keeps curving, and then it articulates at the head with the vertebra in the back. So it articulates here and here on this knot or tubercle in the back with the vertebra. The pectoral girdle has 4 bones, 2 clavicles, 2 scapula, and that supports the 30 bones that are in your upper limb. So the pectoral girdle begins our discussion of the appendicular skeleton. The clavicle is the collarbone. C and C, clavicle, collar, and think about where your collar on your shirt hits. It hits right in the front on the collarbone or the clavicle. It looks like it's straight if you look anterior, but it's really S-shaped, and it is kind of a brace of support, and you can see it here. That is your clavicle. So it articulates here on the sternum, and then it is an S-shaped bone, that goes all the way to this tip right here, okay? You can see how it's S-shaped. The sternal end is more flat, and then the acromial end, that's the tip of your shoulder. When you reach up and touch it's not the tip. Let me back up. It articulates with the tip of your shoulder, which is part of the scapula. The scapula is also called the shoulder blade. There are 2 of these. They are triangular, and they extend down from the 2nd rib all the way to the 7th rib. This is a very large bone. It's flat. It is has 3 borders. It's got a medial border, a lateral border, and a superior border. You can see it here. You see how it's the shape of a triangle? The body of it is the big flat part, and then it articulates with the scapula, with the clavicle, right here at the acromion. And that acromion of the scapula is what you feel when you feel the tip of your shoulder. And then curving down around the front, up under that, is the coronoid process. And so that together forms this place right here that's called the glenoid cavity, which that's where the head of the humerus or the arm bone's going to articulate. And it's got a big spine across the back of it that sticks out. The shoulder joint, when we talk about joints, we'll talk more about it in chapter 8. But the shoulder joint is not a very snug joint because you've just got tendons that go from the acromion and the coronoid process and the clavicle going across that hold it all in place. And the glenoid cavity, the way the humerus articulates with it, it's not a very snug fit. So it's easy to dislocate the shoulder. And I'm just going to mention the 4 regions of the upper limb in this video, and then we'll pick them up in the next video. You got the brachium, which is the humerus, the bone that extends all the way from the shoulder down to the elbow. It's the longest bone and the strongest bone in the arm. Then you have the antebrachium, which is your forearm, and there's 2 bones there, the radius and the ulna. The carpus is your wrist. There are 8 little carpal bones there. And then your hand, called the manus, has 5 metacarpals making the palm and 14 phalanges that make up your fingers.